just wanted to talk about the coping requirements. As you can see my coping here, it's got wax, smooth surface, doesn't have the full anatomy, but you can see that I managed to have some cuspal inclinations incorporated into the wax. Right? Need not be a full anatomic wax work, but you can see that cuspal elevations. The idea is in future, after it's been converted into metal, you're sort of having that shape to support the ceramic when we lay on top of copings. Now, another thing which you need to consider is the thickness of wax. If you have a look at this one, it's almost as thick. It's in line with the rest of it. It's almost as thick as a normal anatomic tooth. So imagine when you put ceramic on top of this, it becomes even wider, easier distally. I can see some space, um, mesial and distal, that's alright, but you can see that buccolingually, it's got too much thickness. So I would leave it at this stage because at metal stage, I will sort of grind it so that I sort of bring it inward further, and that space, the extra space which I made it available at a later stage, gets covered with ceramic. And by following these instructions, you can actually make the tooth appear to be more proportionate. Right? Now I'll just show you how to have the collar placed. As I told you that the purpose of the collar is for you to hold on to the metalwork while you're working on the ceramic too. So what I will do is I use the red wax so that you know. I'm I'm going to place the collar from interproximal of the mesial and the distal, and the collar goes on the lingual or the palatal surface, because later on we grind the collar and then we blend it with the rest of the two structures. So now the purpose of the collar is for you to hold on using a tweezer when you're working on the ceramic. So I'm just going to create a small step covering the palatal margin, the two. So that, add another layer of wax. Now you can see that I created sort of like a step. Now I'm going to make it nice and flat so that you should be able to hold it using a tweezer or an artery forceps, which is in your toolkit. So If you look at the color on this side, it's a bit too thick, so I'm just going to grind it back. Just need to have 1 millimeter of thickness width. That's enough. The rest of the tooth gets covered by ceramic. So you can see that sort of made it like a small step, just enough to hold it with a tweezer. Because you guys are learning at the moment, so just wanted to do an additional step. Usually in my lab when I'm working, I just do this bit and start investing and then cast it. But because you are doing it for the first time and just give you an additional step so that it makes your life easier. So usually I've got this string wax which is about zero point 0.8 millimeter wide. So all I do with this is just make a small tail this way and twist it and cut it short. Then I'll stick it to this one, to the collar, so that when you're working on the ceramics, it'll be easier for you to hold on to that tooth while you're working on it. So with experience, you can avoid doing this step, but because you're learning at the moment, I would just like you guys to do this step. It's actually more convenient and much easier. So, look at that. Sort of there, not pretty looking, but at least imagine converting into metal and you can actually hold it by the tail, and it'll be easier if you hold it by the tweezer. You can hold the tail, and that gives you good enough strength to hold. So that's what I want you guys to do. So I want you to finish it this level, and then you invest it in a similar way like you invested your single crown for your metal crown. Right. Good.